whatever milestones that Black people make against hate, it ends up benefiting all the other people of color. I can't see what his end game is. The Republican Party is the party of racism, is the party of white supremacy, is the party of hate. This is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Everybody wants to go back and drag that piece of history up, but they don't want to go back and deal with what their ancestors did to the indigenous people and to Black people in this country. You got to go. And you got billionaires talking about going to space and Jeff Bezos. Go! Never come back. I hope you get lost. This man has lost his mind.
Boom! Come on, girlfriend. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I host the only online broadcast in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And I am the board chair for the Global Food and Drink Initiative, which is a multimedia not-for-profit that publicizes, promotes, that's what I'm looking for, promotes Blacks in the diaspora that are doing their thing in food, wine, and travel. We're broadcasting live on July 31st. Like, where did this month go? Like, it's just like done. It's just done. It's done. But you know what? Forget all of that. It's Saturday night, and most Saturday evenings around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the fire. These two ladies bring fire with a new intro. So people are watching. How did you like the intro? We love it. We got to thank our wonderful, wonderful intern, Maddie. She is adding so much positive value. So Maddie, thanks again from me. And I know that Aisha and Jill are going to thank you. So let's bring them both on. What's on, ladies?
Hi. Great. Thank you, Maddie. It was fantastic. Maddie. I love it. I love it.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
I'd like to thank everyone who's joining us live and right out of the box, Jen Myers.
Jen. Hi, Jen.
And she loves the new intro. Thank you. Thank you. What's been going on, ladies? Yeah, we were together a few days ago, but we're back. Back at it again. Yeah.
This week was kind of busy.
It's been a
busy week, and it just seemed to. I'm a little bit. I've got the twisties about this week myself. I don't know what's up or what's down myself. Poor Simone. I just want to clear up. I might have been a little hard last week on my judgment about things. I didn't understand. So I don't think it's probably not mental health for her, but quickly I think that it's definitely physical or whatever she has to go through, and I wish her well. I really do.
Okay. Well, Cinema Canella, nice intro. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank right back.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, this is all good. We got the family. It's like we're having a family get together. Loving it. We got the family out. Now, just going to put it out there right at the beginning. Folks, remember the date, August 21st. State of Things with Aisha and Jill. Ask us anything. Live via live via video. Don't mean you can ask us anything. Doesn't mean we're gonna answer everything. Just remember that. All right. But we had a great recent production meeting and said, why don't we just mix it up a little bit? And as always, too, if there are any topics that you'd like us to host a conversation on, please tell us. And also, if you'd like to come on with us, we'd love that too. So don't be afraid. We love you. We like you. We ain't gonna treat you bad. We do it all in love. So that's all good. Ladies, are you looking forward to that August 21st show? I know at first when we put out the idea, you were excited. Now going, did we put something?
I know we what?
Jill's eyes.
Okay, great. I'm okay
Black
with it,
Beauty,
though.
what is
I
up?
am.
Yeah, looking
Black
good, ladies.
Beauty.
Black Beauty
Black
is
Beauty.
all good. It's all good. Good family. So, anything interesting happened since before, other than news-wise, since we last chatted a few days ago? Everything okay?
Yeah, I think so far so good. I mean, you're happy because Jamaica won the gold, bronze, and gold, silver, bronze in the
Yes.
Olympics in 100. So
Yes,
yeah,
in the
they're gonna kill
women's.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jamaican ladies, they did their thing. My dad is very happy. I'm gonna see if I can pull up well, I'll show it to the winner's grandmother. They showed her watching the race. She's going, praise you, Jesus, run! It was
Really?
it was so classic. It was
Oh,
so classic. She'd go, run, run, run. It's like it's got to be the video of the year. The video
yeah.
of the year was
I
so
can't wait.
classic. It was
Yeah.
so good, so good. Black Beauty, hi right back to you. Hey fam, sounding good, Dr. Vibe. There, we're sounding good, and we are good. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yes.
So
I'm rooting for Bromell in track and field because he's family, cousin.
Who is he?
Bromell, his last name's Bromell.
Okay.
So
Well, good.
Okay.
I mean, hey,
rooting for him.
I hope everybody has a good Olympics,
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Are there people in the stands, or they're not allowed to have anybody?
No.
Mm-mm.
No one in the stands. No one in the stands. And of course, the COVID rates are going like crazy in Japan right now too, right? So
Mhm.
Yes.
ta-da,
Yes,
ta-da,
they
ta-da,
are.
ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. So let's get at it. So first conversation piece, and I didn't realize this, U.S. Congress leaving on break while the eviction moratorium ends.
Horrible.
Jill, you brought this to our attention. Let's talk about this.
Well, they basically, they go on their little breaks. The fact that they have the audacity to think they deserve it is another topic in itself. But I think for me, they didn't get Biden to sign off or extend it in any capacity. They kind of left it up to the states. And we know what particularly the red states will do, because it makes people go after the Biden administration. I just can't believe he didn't CYA, that for a minute. That being said, I don't think the moratorium was working per se for everybody there either, like the landlords and homeowners on that level. I just feel like they kind of pissed away the time that they should have been trying to figure out another solution. And then to see Nancy Pelosi saying he couldn't do an executive order about it, and then that big lie, I was really disappointed. And I also found it, and her and Maxine Waters and everybody else, all the old timers, tried to scrape together some excuses about what was going on, and they tried to do a push. But for me, it was just kabuki theater, because everybody knew that most of by Friday noon on a regular office, people are out, gone, on their break. It doesn't exist, and some didn't even come in on the day. Yesterday, for me, was the real reveal that my anger with the Democratic Party at the moment is legitimate, and it has a foundation, because now they freaking played everybody yesterday with that little song and dance that they were going to try to put something through, and oh darn it, everybody's gone, we can't do it. And I don't like that. I really respect Cori Bush, House Representative Cori Bush, Congresswoman, who is sleeping out and camping in front of Congress in sort of a protest about what just happened with them leaving. You guys know how I've been feeling about the Biden administration at the moment, and I don't see it shifting anytime soon. I'm sleeping with one eye open now too, with him too, because yes, he's done a couple of things, but we're talking about a living lifestyles for people, and they've had more than enough to deal with it. And if they can't, then these are just the basics. You can't leave these people in the lurch. There's 7 million people that will go homeless. And it goes back to my point when we talked about the IRS last week, all of it. I don't think that there are agencies and everybody are on the same page. It's like, I just feel like he should do a call every day, like they do in Islam, in a way, like the bell goes and everybody has to turn it on and listen to what's going on, and this country and its time. I just found out that China has the same time, the whole country, as big as it is, they don't have time zones. You wait, you know, they get stuff done, is what I'm saying. They take care of their business. They don't allow situations like, well, the office is closed now because you called and we're on a different time zone. This stuff is a nightmare, and I'm not really pleased at all. And I would have made them the cockroaches if I could have, but there was somebody worse than this, which is pretty damn bad. But people on a whole, we've got to kind of believe that now we need to like really pull back a little. And I hope that people who are following even the GOP and this start to realize we are in this together. We are. Because at the end of the day, all those parties, it's not even about party for me anymore. It's about looking out for each other. And people need to come together and screw the parties. The hell with them. It is. It's not even about party anymore. For me, it's not the definition of it. I don't give a damn anymore because they showed their asses yesterday playing games. And I didn't like that.
This was a matter of sheer laziness on the part of both parties. Mm-hmm. The moment that it became a living, breathing thing that the COVID was starting to shift and the rates of COVID were starting to go up, Joe Biden should have put it out there. We need a reconciliation, period. And in that should have included the housing, the moratorium on housing, and funding to help the landlords, to help the people who are struggling with making their rental payments and their mortgage payments, because reconciliation is the only way that they were going to get it passed. He should have brought Chuck Schumer in here and said, "Look, get this done, Nancy, get this done." The fact that they had a meeting yesterday as things were going to close up for breaks, we have the laziest government. They take a break for a month every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And they get paid way too much to do it.
They do.
To me,
can't hear you, Dr.
Who pays their salaries?
We do.
The people of the United States.
I just wanted to hear that.
And so for them to wait at this far of a point to where they really can't do anything, and people are going to suffer until they come back to not do anything, then just really burns my butt, because you had time to do it. Instead, you're too busy trying to do these bipartisan deals that just aren't going to go through. They're not going to be bipartisan. You're wasting your time trying to do that stuff when there are things that you can do in the immediate that don't require this kind of bipartisan that they're attempting to do. They had it in their power to do one more reconciliation, and they needed to go for it, and they needed to go big, and they just dropped the ball. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking for more progressive people going in the next election.
Me too.
So
I have friends. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No, ladies first. Go ahead, Jill. Sorry to interrupt.
You know, I have friends right now in Ohio helping Nina Turner. I know there's been a lot of stuff about her. I'm not trying to get personal about why Nina didn't support Hillary, or she did, and then she turned her back on her. At this point, I really don't give a damn. I don't care about Hillary Clinton's honor or whatever it is. That ship sailed. We don't need to talk about that anymore. I am giving whatever I make to more independent-minded parties. I am not doing the DNC the way they think. And I may be just a little guy, but my money adds up just as like everybody else. You know, they can leave an office and still I get a text from Nancy, stupid Pelosi. This is a millionaire too. They own apartment buildings probably too and want their rent. So screw off. I'm sick of them all. I'm sick of their faces. I'm sick of all the old people who are as old as my parents. I don't want any of them in anymore. I'm just over it. It's time for you to go be grandparents and be decent people before you die.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm sorry, but Chuck Schumer has to go.
He's the worst.
He
The
is
worst.
not doing any kind of leadership.
He is
in
the
Senate.
barnacle on the of the Democratic Party at the moment. He is the dingleberry that is weighing everything down. One little dingleberry, and he is the problem that no one can rest because he doesn't know how to deal with it.
He has no leadership skills. He's slimy.
Horrible.
He's shady. He is just. It's like
car salesman,
dude.
used car salesman.
It's like, dude, come on. It's
He's
like,
bad.
Can you get it up long enough to stand up for people? It's like he just wants his politics are about as slimy as his hair.
It's true, like, and it's revealed itself too. That's the thing. You're right. He's been skating through the whole thing, and now the spotlight went on him, and we've all realized he doesn't have the goods. Everybody in Congress probably already knew that he wasn't able to magically make it happen. And that's why from day one, since we got in with him as speaker, nobody was scared of him because they know he caves in.
I'd rather see Minnesota lady. What's her name?
Amy Klobuchar. Yes, I would love her. Amy. I know Amy's got a spine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just catch up on here. Black Beauty saying kudos, ladies. Also, Blue. Okay. Before we get to that, hold on. Let's go back to real Django. We'll get to you, Blue. Sorry about saying, how can government officials just cut for vacation while large groups of people are being evicted?
Well, we see how they did it.
And see, this
and
is
they had no problem doing it. That should tell you everything. Watch
and this is why a leader needs to take reins and say, no break until we get this done.
Right. Because Cori Bush slept in her car with kids. We talked about that before. She is a congresswoman, and if she ran for president, I'd vote for her, because the reality is the people that are in office at the moment, Dems and Republicans who are rich and have been there for career lifetimes, it's too much. They're a disappointment. They're leveraged. They're not clean. They're all dirty. And even if you jump in the pool, you get dirty with them. It's like, I am so angry that I'm exhausted to even talk about it. When I get like this, I'm just like,
dangerous.
I'm done with you. Yeah, I'm like,
they're so far removed from who they were going in.
Yes,
it's like it just makes you want to throw up your hands and just
make you want to holler.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just. But here's the thing: they think they're so much better than the GOP. They've tried to brand themselves on that. And seriously, going away on a vacation, nah. This has no problem. I think we should find out where they all go on their vacations too. Let's see their pictures. Where are you going? Meanwhile, eviction proceedings will start for many people on Monday.
Yeah.
If not, sheriffs showing up today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Blue Reigns is saying this is why term limits are needed in Congress.
We tried to get those in. They never voted for it. Do you remember? It was years ago. And they wouldn't vote. They wouldn't pass it to get in. So it's kind of like asking the fox who's running the hen house, would you disqualify yourself and not look over these chickens anymore? Yeah. They didn't vote for it.
Ted, put it this way. They have a bipartisan bill with Ted Cruz and AOC trying to put through term limits, and they can't get it passed.
Right. They won't. And that's on both sides. So we are being held hostage by that. And I think there should be an amendment in the Constitution for something that we can do as citizens that give us some leverage in this. Because to be honest, they've all manipulated the Constitution, and there should have always been term limits. I don't think anybody imagined that these people would go in. I mean, hell, at this point, I want to run. I want to go make some freaking coins. Don't you? Let's all run. It's just, this is the tomfoolery. I don't really have any qualifications. Some of them don't. Most of them didn't. They went to their little colleges and whatever, and we see what that turned out. They won't vote for it.
Lauren
And that's a
Boebert has
problem.
none. She had to go get her
GED.
GED in order just to run.
Mhm.
Who?
Lauren Boebert.
You're
Colorado.
kidding.
A
She had to
GED.
go get her GED.
Because she dropped out in 8th grade, or what was it? 8th grade, I think, 9th
Yeah,
grade.
ninth grade, something like
Yeah.
that.
Wow. So Blue Rains is saying, I know wishful thinking, and they will never vote for it.
Never.
Not as
Never.
long as they can make money.
Mm-mm. But we can change that. We can do, you know, code for, get their out of there. We can't get attached to people. This is the interesting thing. There are new dynamics that come in every election, of new energy, new people that come in. And remember, with like an Adam Kinzinger and all these different people who are different types of Republicans, what happens is the strongest, it's like a clique in high school. And the only way you start to get rid of stuff like that is to not patronize either one of them. Like you just start moving your votes, and you just look for new, fresh blood, because the problem is they get in and they corrupt everybody, or they find dirt on people, which is what Donald Trump did, how he got allegiance.
To their credit, that's what Republicans will do, is that they have no allegiances
Right.
to a lot of people. If they don't like people who will not toe the line that they want towed, they get rid of them. And Democrats build allegiances to people. And
Well,
so
yeah.
we will hold on to people that we quote unquote like for years and years and years, even though they aren't necessarily good for us, or
And
they stop being good.
They get rid of people also by not assigning them to committees. And so what happens to their district or whatever they're representing, nothing changes there. And then their own voters go, what the hell is going on? So it is like high school, and it's a big clique. Both sides, it's a clique, and you're going to have to kiss butt to get in there. So why it was so impressive to see an AOC come in, and I know people are like, she talks too much, and the squad, Rashida, and all these people. What happened is, and what happened in the age of Trump coming in, he did kind of open that door for the mouths to run, and they didn't like click the heels of Nancy Pelosi or whoever else was behind them. And they created their own brand. They branded themselves, where people went, I'm going to vote for her still because I like what she's saying. Hey, Nancy, how come you're not giving? And you have to go there and make yourself a visual. You have to find your ground there with them, because for too long now, we as Dems and Republicans take new people who've come in and won their elections. We try to make them dance to the beat of the drum. These could be future leaders and do some really great changes for this country. But we're sticking with the same old, same old. And I suggest look around, and when these people start running as candidates, look around. And if you don't see anything that you like and you think you might be better, why don't you run? Audience members.
And here's
Find
the
your
other
spot.
thing. Yeah, and here's the other thing too, is that if the Democrats were really playing strategy right now, they would get rid of the big money, one, and start really pushing to go back to the earmark system, because the earmark system is how they were getting things for their districts.
Right.
Right now, they're not getting anything for the districts. No. They're getting things for themselves. Right. The earmark, I remember when I was in South Carolina and working for the state, for a legislative commission, one of the reasons that Jim Clyburn was so popular was for his earmarks that he brought back to his district in South Carolina, things that people were not getting at the time, that he was getting for that district. And he had one of the largest districts, the congressional districts in South Carolina, and the earmarks that he was bringing back. So they need to really push to go back to that, because those kinds of things are strategically democratic in nature. They are signs that the Democratic Party is working. Those things right there are things that could help people in the now while people are hurting. And it doesn't make sense that the Democratic Party hasn't really fought for that while they have control. It doesn't make sense at all. There are things that they can do that they just kind of threw their hands up in the air and like, oh, we're not doing anything because we don't have this secured, you know, majority in the Senate. Well, you know what? Get rid of the effing filibuster. What is holding you up? It's like to say that, well, we don't have this secure. Well, you have a way of getting rid of it. Get rid of it. Oh, because we don't want to come back and bite us. You know what? So what if it does? But in the meantime, you can't do anything to help anybody as long as it's there. You're worried about what's going to happen should there be someone else who should we lose the presidency in who knows when, okay? But right now, you're still not helping anyone. You're just figureheads. So do something about it. At least help people in the now.
But what happened is that they are no different than when Trump was in office and Congress wanted to go on a break, and they were raising hell about it and getting so upset, and they politicized the whole situation. And they're doing the same thing. The reality is they need to be careful because they have not taken the room temperature of their constituents at this point. Because the reality is that I've gotten a little cold with them, and they need to know that. Somebody needs to be watching stuff and knowing that I'm a little cold with you people, because the worst part of it all is, on one hand, they've even made the messaging from the CDC about the Delta variant. They've diminished it by saying, oh, well, hell, I'm going to go home on a vacation. You know, it doesn't make sense. What worlds are they living in? You're willing to let people who are going to be homeless have the Delta virus out in public on the streets? And you didn't think it was important enough to say, hey, guys, we got a really big problem. We're not helping people get vaccinated or inspiring them to do it. You think this is going to inspire people to get a vaccine? No, because all it did was they looked like a bunch of this weekend pushing. It's a new war. I saw the wag the dog phrases. I saw it. I got it. I was like, oh, you guys really went to the CDC and said, ramp it up more, make it this and that. It didn't feel sincere. It actually felt desperate and not for the right reasons, to be honest. And I really feel like if I'm feeling this way, imagine how everybody else is feeling.
Yeah. And you know what, though? Here's the other thing. If they were to shut down the country again, they have a legitimate reason as to why to get the moratorium back.
Yeah. But it must not be that bad. Just like I said with the IRS leaning people. Must not be that bad.
Well, okay. So you've discussed this, but a Black Beauty asks, ladies, and he's saying this in capital letters, how do we, the people, change the rules such as term limits, Congress, not taking breaks like they do? How? Because until or if we do nothing, nothing's going to change.
You call their office.
Is there any way?
We have to enforce. Well, you know what? Above and beyond calling their term limits, we have to make ourselves heard in 2022 and get these people out. Mm-hmm. That is how we enforce the term limits. We have to take it upon ourselves to vote them out. Because here's the thing: 2022 is going to be a disaster. Democrats keep on the way that they are. They are going to lose. Yeah. People are disappointed. You're going to see people staying home. As it is, people are going to want to stay home because of the pandemic. Okay. So you want to make it worse?
So here we got pandemic plus voter suppression doesn't make it look good for the Democrats.
Exactly. And you're expecting people to really come out when you haven't helped them.
And you went on vacation. And they were upset because Ted Cruz went to Cancun. Who are these people? Who are they? They should all have been willing to stay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. This is what is called, like, you know, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. It's like we're not talking about the Senate. We're talking about the House didn't even recognize this to take care of it. That's because remember, they're all up. They're all up.
And they're the Dems. And it's like, yo, are you kidding me? I have to rethink this situation going forward, who I want. I
Right.
might just put another different kind of Democrat in or another progressive in. Like
There
I said,
are-
the more
So
progressive person will go in for me.
So Blue Range is saying, right, that is the only way to get them out. I think the Dems will lose in the midterms also. Dems are really screwing up their majority.
They are.
And you know, and here's the thing: if they do not lose, the establishment ones are going to lose.
Yes,
Put it
because
that
we
way.
want them gone. Yes, that's true. Because
If the Democrats don't lose control, it will be the establishment Dems that will lose. You're going to see more progressive ones be ushered in.
put in, yeah.
And then you're going to see a switch from probably
Nancy Pelosi will be
to what is his name? Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
Okay.
Who is New York? He's in my old neighborhood in Fort Greene, Clinton Hill. And I
You're
like
kidding.
him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to our next conversation piece. As we get a little video up for everybody. And here we go.
Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
In sometimes harrowing testimony, 4 police officers detailed a coordinated attack on the U.S. Capitol and on them. Washington police officer Michael Fanone's own body camera captured him being tasered.
Mike, stay in there, buddy. Mike, it's Jimmy. I'm here. Mike.
And he says the response from Republican politicians has been just as hurtful.
The indifference shown to my colleagues is disgraceful, but nothing, truly nothing, has prepared me to address those elected members of our government who continue to deny the events of that day. And in doing so, betray their oath of office.
Washington Metropolitan Police Officer Daniel Hodges, seen in a viral video being crushed between the Capitol doors by rioters, urged Congress to act.
I need you guys to address if anyone in power had a role in this. We're not allowed to.
U.S. Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn recalled being taunted with racial slurs.
No one had ever called me a nigger while wearing the uniform of a Capitol Police officer.
Just 2 Republicans joined the panel, defying their party to question the officers.
You guys may individually feel a little broken, but you guys won. You guys held.
You hear former President Trump say, quote, "It was a loving crowd. There was a lot of love in the crowd." How does that make you feel?
It's upsetting. It's a pathetic excuse for his behavior for something that he himself helped to create, this monstrosity. I'm still recovering from those hugs and kisses that day.
The House Select Committee saw previously unseen video, some of it graphic, profane, and threatening. 5 people died on Capitol Hill on January 6th, but despite the presence of 2 Republicans on the committee, the Republican Party is largely refusing to cooperate with the inquiry, in solidarity with Donald Trump, who urged supporters to march on the Capitol. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says the hearing is nothing but political theater.
That becomes a failed committee and a failed report, a sham that no one can believe.
As the hearings continue, the effort to investigate the insurrection continues to be matched by an equally aggressive campaign to discredit it. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Wow, that's crazy.
Kevin McCarthy is a jerk. He is,
but they're all jerks. I mean,
yeah,
they're all jerks without repeating this over. But nobody's watching it. I don't know how to tell you guys this. Nobody's watching. Nobody. Maybe we do. But to be what's really sad about America at the moment, nobody's watching it. And to be honest with you, majority of people in America don't seem to care. They're not watching it. They talked about it so much before these guys even got a chance to testify, thanks to the stupid media, that it's done. It's done. How much more? They've talked about somebody lost an eye, they lost a hand. We're in the age of video games. We're in the age of whatever. That was the beginning of January. It's done. This isn't going to win them any points because of what they got a commission together. I'm so sorry for those guys. I'm really sorry. But guess what? My advice is the next time somebody jumps off and you see a Republican getting his ass kicked, don't help him. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I know it's against their oath of duty, but let's be honest. Would you go out on a limb for any of those dudes? I wouldn't. Nobody's watching and nobody cares. I wonder how many people here just even checked out on that because nobody cares.
Well, here's the thing is that when they did the second impeachment hearings, they should have had some of these people come and testify to this when it was on television that first time, while people were paying attention, because they did that rather quickly.
Yeah.
And they should have had this commission during that time when it was still very fresh.
And may I just interject one thing to carry on with your thing? The reason that you do that is because when you move fast, did these people not read The Art of War? You don't wait months for people to get their story straight, to get organized. You move fast at the beginning when you're doing an interrogation or an investigation. You don't sit around when all these people have been able to either be threatened, leveraged, promised, bribed, extorted. But good old Democrats, dumb Democrats, up again.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that it's like, I don't understand why they were trying yet again to wait for a bipartisan commission. Did they, the Democrats, it's like they really sat and thought these same people were going to be bipartisan after they experienced an insurrection that day, and later that night, those same people who experienced it still went on to divide the government by not voting to affirm the vote on Joe Biden's presidency.
Right.
Come on. That should have sealed the deal right then and there. For them to do something about it. Go ahead.
No, so Black Beauty is saying, I was thrilled, excited, proud that our Capitol officers put it all out there. I'm so proud of them, but wondering and praying that 45 and those goons will be brought to their knees. Once again, nothing.
It won't happen. No, it's never going to happen. I'd let that go.
Yeah, and it's further proof of it is the fact that the speaker, the leader of the Republican Party in the House, he went from saying that, this was Donald Trump's fault to now saying, oh, this is the Democrats trying to show off.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear who, if there ever was a deep state, it's very clear to see which side is part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is an interesting point.
Yeah.
That is an interesting point. That is a very interesting point, because that part, the Republican Party and their ex-president said that there was a deep state. Well, hello.
They always tell on themselves. It's like the husband who comes home and he's been cheating and he starts mentioning, oh yeah, we have this woman at the office, who did this. You start getting like little tidbits of new people that you're like, who the why would I give about a presentation,
And he keeps talking about it, right?
Or like, oh yeah, goofy. That's how boyfriends and stuff screw you up with some mention, because they just tell on themselves,
right.
And then you go. So that's my feeling with the Democrats. I'm just over their nonsense. And I feel so badly for these gentlemen who are out there, and they should bring in the one who lost his eye. But it still wouldn't do anything. They could show the wound, and this country is so hard and so jacked up that it wouldn't give a damn anymore. The reality is, Michael Steele went off today on
That
his
was
video
excellent.
about Jim Jordan. And, you know, the real question is, like the one officer asked, were there people in Congress who were behind it? And we definitely, for almost 98.99999% are sure Jim Jordan did talk to Trump that day and they knew about it. It's like a DNA test. We know you are the father, Jim, and Trump. Together you made this heinous, ugly baby.
Right.
Called the Capitol.
Look, the only thing that's going to really get Donald Trump, it's not going to be this January 6th commission. It's going to be the DOJ, which they just did, was told the Treasury Department to hand
Don't
over.
hold your breath.
To hand over
the
those
problem
things.
With that for
those
me
IRS.
is the problem with that for me and courts with Donald Trump. He spent his whole life in courts.
Yeah.
This man will be dead before he ever sees the inside of a jail, because Donald Trump knew how to just keep throwing money at the courts, throwing money. They got rich off of him too, by the way. They got rich, all of them, attorneys. He kept part of the city running, although he doesn't pay people. But even on that whole thing, ordering a transcript is going to be how much money? The courts made money. They make money with rich people going to court, because the case could go for 7 or 8 years. And I doubt Donald Trump will be alive in 8 years.
No, but they'll get him on his money before they'll get him on this.
Okay. I just don't see it anymore.
They'll never get that smoking gun, because there are too many people that are going to hide behind it. They'll get Jim Jordan before they get Trump on this.
Yeah, because there's too many people that would lose a lot. Because Trump knows when you go down, take the whole ship with you. He's not the captain that says, I'm going down with the ship. He's like, I'm going down and I'm going to take the whole ship with me.
Jim Jordan and Mo Brooks will go down first.
Real Django says McCarthy and the rest of the Republicans are acting like children. Blue Rain says, of course some of them were involved. And Blue Rains also asks, the Dems kill me, always wanting everything to be bipartisan. Give me a break. When will they learn?
They've learned. They just have bipartisan things with their funding and donors. That's the game they're all tiptoeing around. Let's just call it what it is. They're getting money from both sides too. So with their different, it's like a company gives to both sides. They'll give Nike gives to both of them. It's like they know what they're doing, and they're all so scared of losing their and their dark money, because we know that they all get dark money too. That's why when everybody was tripping with Nina Turner saying she had dark money, I'm like, no, I can tell by what that outfit she had on. She's not getting dark money.
The one with the clown
that's
shoes.
why I love her. I mean, she's a little rough around the edges for people. But yeah, dark money has changed a candidate quickly.
Dark money would have dressed her up much better. Trust me.
Kristen Cinema, she may look goofy, but the girl is wearing stuff from Anthropology. And that stuff's not cheap. It's not even cheap just for a regular salary. It's goofy looking. She ain't going to H&M. She's going to, it's Anthropology.
All right. Let's keep it going here. Real Django, this is the way the United States does things. They F around with everything. Blue Rains is LOL. Ryan Singh from Toronto, longtime friend, that says, love the show. Thank you so much. You'll go, Black Beauty, call me stupid, but everyone I talk to about this is saying the same things that the ladies are saying. Well, maybe we should have the ladies in office. Hello.
Please. They couldn't handle us.
Real Django says, slow poking government. Oh my. Well,
you know what though? Here's the other thing too. And we said this on Wednesday. Joe Biden, it's not the same Republican Party as when you left in 2009. It's not the same Republican Party as when you came in the 70s.
I know.
And I wish you would stop acting like this. It's like, take the blinders off.
It's like he's expecting, I don't know, Mamie Eisenhower or something. Everybody, back in those days, it's like, dude, these are not the same people. They're not the same humans.
All the people you knew were dead.
They're gone. It's true.
All right.
Haven't you noticed your parties have slimmed down a little bit?
I mean, Strom Thurmond's gone.
Thankfully. Thankfully.
All right. Okay, it's halftime in this game of the game called State of Things with Aisha and Joe. We're gonna take. Oh, see, we got one more break. We got no here. Black Beauty saying, "Preach, ladies, preach." All right, good stuff. So we're gonna take a quick break. So we'll come to the second half, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking about COVID and Lollapalooza. Interesting little story coming up. Yes. So Aisha wanted to bring this to the table. So folks, don't go anywhere. Take a break. Take a sip of whatever you're sipping, and we'll be back just in a moment. Go. So ladies, what is going on?
Just that he needs to get it together.
Sick of that. I am sick of it.
Something is seriously wrong with you.
Is that, I mean, why is he still there?
She shouldn't be near Congress.
You need an exorcism, because I don't know what is wrong with you people.
It was so powerful.
And I really wish everybody would stop bowing down to this.
What is he talking about? This makes no sense.
They know they are not the oppressed party, but they love being the superior ones, and they want to flaunt it.
So it was always made political, particularly for people of color, and the LGBTQ population.
We end off every episode with a cockroach. This episode's cockroach.
Everything.
Everything?
All the things are going on.
All the things?
Mm-hmm. All the things, man.
We are back on State of Things with Aisha and Jill, and we're having a really good, as always, and Real Dango says, "Yep, Steele had me rolling."
Oh my God, Steele was turned into your uncle at the barbecue today.
Michael Steele, yes, he was. Aisha, you said it. He sure was. He lost it. He nailed it.
So, ladies, do tell some of our audience may not know Michael Steele. Who is he, and what knowledge bombs did he drop today?
Well, he was the former RNC chair during the Obama administration.
Black chair.
And they brought him on to
MSNBC.
Yeah, MSNBC. But initially, the RNC brought him on to appear to bring in some more Black Republicans with a new hip hop flavor. That was their quote back in the day. But he was
You're kidding me. They actually said that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, this country is a fool.
Yeah. But, he was on talking about Jim Jordan. Talking about Jim Jordan. What did he say, Jill? Because it was just too funny. He called him the son of a.
Yeah, and basically it was about the phone call that Jim Jordan basically told on himself. Now Jim Jordan says he can't remember speaking to the president that day, and we know from the very beginning, right after 1/6, he said I was on the phone with the president, and he said he spoke with him. So there's but we'll never be able to get him in to find out if he'll testify because this is not going to go in the Senate. So
and Michael Steele said that he has talking to presidents going all the way back to Clinton, and he could remember every time he talked to a president.
Exactly. It's true. That was the funny part.
You don't remember talking to a president. Okay.
Because that's the funny thing. They make it seem like it's not. No, you don't just chit chat unless Donald Trump. I mean, what was pretty surprising is when they do have the evidence with the DOJ that you were talking about, where he called directly and said, just say the election was fake. It was a fake election. Yeah. And there were a few phone calls. So when you put it into perspective, like Michael Steele did with people, you have the president calling you to say, I need you to say that the election was a fraud. Whoa. And not once, not twice. So I'm pretty sure when Donald Trump calls you, no matter what you are or really how many times, you remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because
All right.
he's either asking you for, he's usually asking you to do something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Quick pro quo. Of course. He doesn't do
I mean,
anything.
well, not only that, it's not often a president calls a congressman. Okay.
True.
True.
It is. I know.
Usually they'll call the speaker, but they
Right.
don't just call random congressman.
Yeah. It's like that was the, and I was so happy Michael still said that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because remember, there are
All right,
435 members of Congress.
Yeah.
Of the House.
All right. Next conversation piece. Aisha, you were bringing this COVID and Lollapalooza. Talk to us.
So Lollapalooza is a concert series that has been going on since the 90s. Well, it's a multi-day concert series. So this year it started yesterday, and it's going on 4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Where is it?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think it's in Chicago. Is it in Chicago?
It is Chicago this year, right?
Yeah.
110,000 people they expect per day. And they've shown pictures of it. And I have seen no masks in those pictures.
Right.
And meanwhile, the Delta variant is spreading. We're looking at the which variant's coming next? The Lambda variant?
I have no idea.
And there's one that's even more. There's Lambda. There's
Alpha.
There's one more that they're more concerned about than Lambda, because they think it's even stronger than Delta.
Yeah, it's Greek soup.
They're all like fraternities and sorority names or some crap like that, right?
I know Michael Harriot did a great post about the Omega variant.
Did he?
Because he's Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Oh.
And it was just hysterical. He's like, I know most people aren't going to know what I'm talking about unless you know the black people.
Well, you have to say the reason that these concerts are going on in these venues, they didn't do anything. They didn't pass an art bill like in Germany and in Europe. They passed, they gave money to certain artists. Of course, it's not going to be the same money they would make for a Lollapalooza. Right. But that goes back to messaging and that everybody's not on the same page.
Exactly.
No matter how Joe Biden tries to say it. There are people who are saying, I'm going to lose my home if I don't promote, and I'm the promoter of this concert series. I can't worry about who lives or dies coming there. You're asking me to be too much of a good person. So what we're seeing now is that people have decided that their livelihood and their future is a lot better, is more in their hands. That's the thing is, that's the way. There was another one in Arkansas as well, a Fish concert, Fish the band, same things. But we also have to remember, I was in the store the other day and a dude walked in with no mask. We have a mask mandate here, but the people at the store were they're just too tired to go through the fighting to say, hey, this knew you needed a mask on. But it's a lot. It's like you're protecting a gate, and then you hear Congress went off on vacation. It makes you go, who the hell? What? Who made me a warrior and gave me no gun? Who put me in the war and gave me no knife, no gun, no nothing? Screw that.
Right.
All right.
And it's like, go ahead.
Let me just catch up with cons because they're flying in, so I don't want to fall too far behind. Rio Dango saying Staggers throwing daggers. Blue Rain says, can you say super spreader event?
Mm-hmm.
Black Beauty, SMH. And Blue Rain says one in Miami as well. An event like that in Miami as well.
And you have to pay attention that Fox News has been doing a very interesting thing on smallpox. And in their clever, still low-key, passive-aggressive way, they're still doing it. I must be the only one picking up on it. But I mean, not really. I'm not that smart, but I'm saying that, to say, well, Alan Dershowitz was on the other night.
Oh
saying
my.
with Laura Ingraham, he was saying people's rights, which was interesting because he is a constitutional lawyer or professor, whatever he is. Your right does not extend into sort of canceling out my right to be safe from a vaccine. So she was saying, well, aren't they're just exaggerating this? And she goes, and it's unconstitutional. And he said, it's not unconstitutional to mandate a mask because it's for a health emergency. We've had many in this country. She was fuming, Laura Ingraham was fuming.
Oh, wow.
But then everybody was saying, I don't believe, why all of a sudden is Dershowitz running to talk this game? Because here's the thing, everybody's just, they're done. And they're actually behaving the way people did during smallpox and during the Spanish flu. At some point, they just said, well, screw it. We're just going to have to take our chances, because hopefully people have learned that the government doesn't really, I don't know, Congress leaving took away the urgency and immediacy that they're trying to put forth about how bad Delta is. I'm sorry. It just sent it was a double message, and it's wrong. They were wrong.
Yeah. And the other part of this too is that when this Delta variant came around, there wasn't the same kind of urgency there was as when this virus first came around. They weren't as, meticulous with the need to mask up. And really, when this came up, and especially when a third of the victims were children, that should have been enough to shut the country down. And they don't care.
You're dealing with people that don't care if people are homeless, and you see them on the street with their kids, their dogs, their everything, and people don't.
No, it just you would think that this would be more urgent, especially now. And yet they're going on vacation, especially now. Kids are getting ready to go back to school in some parts of this country.
Yes.
In the next week or two.
Yes, that's true.
And then you have governors like in South Dakota. The governor's like, there will be no mandates for masks in schools, or be no mandates for this and that. And really, the federal government should be able to sue her.
Oh. Well, it's interesting. Blue Rains is talking about Laura Ingham saying, yes, all the while she's vaccinated.
Yep. Yeah. Jill, you're on mute.
Jill, you're mute.
Pretty despicable people. They're just horrible human beings. I've said it a million times, but be prepared. The fall is really going to be when it gets really bad. Yeah. So the fall seems to be the big worry.
And remember, too, not just the fall. You're going to have people getting COVID, and on top of COVID, they're going to have the flu.
Yes. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Yeah, it's not looking pretty for the fall. Not looking pretty. So, this episode's cockroach. Representative Republican Jill, please. I saw. See, folks, this is why you got to watch this, because Jill's facial expression was priceless about 15 seconds ago. It was vintage. So this is why we're going to argue. If you're not watching live, please watch replays. You need to screenshot that look, by the way. Republican Representative Madison Carthone tried to board a plane with a gun, and he could face fine status loss.
The fact that they're saying he could, it should say he will face a fine and he will face a status loss. I just want to know what's wrong with all the dudes in the wheelchairs. What the hell? I think they've got the wrong thing braced. Maybe they need to brace their brains.
I'm just mad that he thought that he could actually get away with this. It's
Right.
like, come on, you're not a U.S. Marshal. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
what made you think that this was going to be okay? This vigilantism in white men gets my
Oh my
butt
gosh.
every time.
You're a representative government and you're entering a plane with a gun.
Maybe not to go back to the COVID thing, but maybe what's happened is maybe they've had COVID. You know, one of the side effects came out from the study in April that it's making 1 in 5 COVID men who've gotten COVID have erectile dysfunction.
Oh, Jill, why you going? Why you going
That
there,
was a
Jill?
study I read in April, and I found it in my bookmarks just today. Sorry.
So the gun was to compensate.
Jill.
So Madison was like, "That's not a gun," or maybe I'm just happy to see you.
Oh,
but it was a loaded gun at that. Okay,
these people are nuts. I'm telling you,
loaded.
We are the biggest comedy show, scary comedy show in Europe for everybody to watch. They think that all of our agencies are crap. They think it's like walking into Cuba in the where you go in and everything is like telegram. Hello, how are you doing? That's what it feels like America is. It's like, I'll put you right through. You know, highlight corruption 325. You know, it's like.
So Jill, do you do voice acting?
No.
Gosh, that was good. That was good. I mean, like I've watched it on replays. It reminds me, what was her name? Lily Tomlin went on doing what she used to be the switchboard operator.
Yes,
that's what I thought.
I used to imitate her when I was young as a kid.
I saw that on YouTube the other day, and it made me think.
Yeah.
Jill, every time, Jill, you got talents we haven't even heard and seen yet. I'm telling you, like
I'm losing my mind over this
T.
stuff,
Stevens
guys.
is laughing away.
That's why I always have to hear the Kiss 12-inch just to hear Jill do the old lady voice.
Yes.
Oh gosh, Black Beauty. She was just LMBO. Jill. Oh my goodness.
It's making me crazy. So what is Madison's defense? Do you know that? Because I didn't read what it was.
There was none.
Yeah.
He just carried the loaded weapon onto the plane. They took it from him and checked it, but that was pretty much it. It was like
now we're going now. Blue Rains, love the Kiss 12-inch. See, now we're going down that road now. Oh my goodness.
I know. How do you have time to watch YouTube? Ryan Singh wants to know. With you, you're so busy.
Well, you know what? I take time to just relax and just enjoy things at leisure. Have to do that, because if I don't, I'll end up going crazy. So I just I just do my casual time and just do my thing. So, but Ernest, can I call you Ernestine now, Jill?
Yes.
So so what we have to do, folks, next time we have next show, we got to show that video.
Yes.
Yeah.
One ringy dingy, two ringy dingy. Oh my! You know what? Oh my gosh! I'm gonna do something. I'm not gonna wait, Ernestine. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. I gotta see if I can. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna pull it up right.
To call America.
Okay, so folks, because we had a little bit of a shorter conversation, and Jill did such a good job for people who can't relate or don't. So what are we talking about, Lily Tomlin? This is what we're talking about. So we're going to put it on right now. Here we go.
One ringy dingy. Gracious, hello. Have I reached the party to whom I am speaking? Is this General Motors? Hi, General. How's everything? Tell me, how's Mrs. Motors? Oh, I beg your pardon. You are the president of the General Motors of Motown fame? Of course, now I recall General Motors. That's a switch, isn't it? Somebody recalling General Motors?
You know, life was so much simpler then.
Yeah. Phone repair service, or as we see in the trade, Mardel's Fix-It Shop. You complain that your phone isn't working. Well, Mr. Motors. At long last, the brake shoe is on the other foot, so to speak. Now you know what it feels like to be stuck with a lemon. Let me see here, sir. Specifically, it's your hotline that's out of order. Is that correct? The one that goes directly from your office to the White House? What's that for anyway? So you can call Milhouse before you make a decision? Oh, so he can call you before he makes a decision. Fine, it's odd. I mean, Milhouse already knows more about shifting gears than anybody in the U.S.
That's funny.
Whatever's good for General Motors is good for the country. But apparently he's never owned a Corvair.
I used to love the Corvair.
I'll tell you what, General. We'll clear up your phone if you'll clear up our air. Oh, yes, I know all of you of the big three are doing your very best to reduce smog. I'm all choked up over it. Yes, I heard you're spending $50 million on pollution control. 49 of that's on advertising, but tell us you're spending 50, isn't it?
Wow, I didn't really realize she was so political.
Okay. Oh, you're so irritable. You need to relax. Why don't you invite Mr. Ford up to your office? The two of you can play Monopoly. It's like an automobile joke, not unlike the Edsel. Now then, sir, about your telephone, I think we can fix it. Of course, it might take 2 to 3 weeks to get parts. We're going to schedule a repair truck. Will somebody be there between March and April? You never know when one of those trucks will break down. They are nearly 6 weeks old. You can't expect a $10,000 vehicle to last forever, can you? Let's see here. No, I'm sorry, that is the best I can do. Anyway, according to our files, the warranty on your instrument has expired. We'll give you 5 years or 500 dials, whichever comes first. Wait a minute, General, don't hang up. Give my regards to Mrs. Motors. I understand you're expecting a baby. But tell me, sir, wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Wow. Yeah, it was a very different time.
That was a good one.
It was a very different time.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that
Very much so.
I thought so that was the lady that Jill was imitating. So there we go. And Real Django enjoyed it immensely. All right. So folks, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. It was a great time. People loved it. Thank you to everyone who stopped by: Jen, Cinema, Black Beauty, Real Django, Ryan Singh, Blue Rains, first time. Hopefully you'll come back. Appreciate you being here. And anybody else? T. Stevens. Jen is saying, great show. Thank you, Jen, as always, for your support. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. All right. Before we let these ladies go, they're going to tell us if they're, well, I was going to say if they're brave enough. They're more than brave. They just give it to you. So if people want to get a hold of Jill Jones, where do they go?
Jill D. Jones at Twitter, right there.
There, bingo. And Aisha Staggers.
At Aisha Staggers on Twitter.
Wonderful. And myself, if you are wanting to get a hold of me, best place to go is my website, the DRVIBESHOW. On Twitter, I'm at DRVIBESHOW. And on Instagram, I'm at the DR, VIBESHOW. So thank you everyone for watching live. Blue Rain says, great show. Thank you. Well, hopefully you're going to be back. All right. What we do, we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And if you want to get in touch with us, please send me an email at dr.vibe@the drvibeshow.com. As always, I like to send off like this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. And we will see you next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, God willing. God bless. Peace be all. Keep the faith and be good.